Namaskar. As you all know, we are here today to this prayer meeting to remember Somesh Ji, and as the family wants to celebrate his life, not mourn much, because that's the reality everyone has to go through in the life. So we'll present some soulful bhajans here in his remembrance and for the peace of the family and friends. So on behalf of Jhingon family, I thank all friends and family members who have gathered here to remember him. राघवं रामचन्द्रं च रावणारिं रमापतिं राजीवलोचनं रामं तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। हे राम 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 हे राम। जग में साचो तेरो नाम हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम। जग में साचो तेरो नाम हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम। तू ही माता तू ही पिता है, तू ही पिता है, तू ही तो है राधा का श्याम हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम। तू अंतर्यामी सबका स्वामी,
तू अंतर्यामी सबका स्वामी।
तू तू ही अंतर्यामी, तू अंतर्यामी सबका स्वामी।
तू अंतर्यामी सबका स्वामी।
तेरे चरणों में चारों धाम। हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम। तू ही बिगाड़े तू ही संवारे,
तू ही बिगाड़े तू ही संवारे।
तू 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 ही बिगाड़े तू ही संवारे।
तू ही बिगाड़े तू ही संवारे।
इस जग के सारे काम। हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम। तू ही जगदाता विश्व विधाता।
तू ही जगदाता विश्व विधाता।
तू ही जगदाता। तू तू ही जगदाता विश्व विधाता।
तू ही जगदाता विश्व विधाता।
तू ही सुबह तू ही शाम। हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम। जग में साचो तेरो नाम। हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गोपी जन वल्लभ। जय गिरिवर धारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। यशोदानंदन जग जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन
ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीर बनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गोपी जन वल्लभ। जय गिरिवर धारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं।
तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं।
तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं।
तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं।
तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं।
अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम। राम नारायणम जानकी माधवम।
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं।
कौन कहते
कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं,
कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं,
बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं,
बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं,
बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं।
बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं,
कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं,
द्रौपदी के जैसे बुलाते नहीं,
द्रौपदी के जैसे बुलाते नहीं,
अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम,
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं,
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम,
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्,
अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम,
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं,
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम,
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्,
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम।
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्।
Since many people have just arrived, once again we thank all the friends and family members to have gathered here to remember the life, to celebrate the life of Somesh Ji. We will remember his politeness, his energy, he was a great friend, great son, husband. And after the few bhajans, there will be some family members who will say something for him, for you all. Till then, all the bhajans are selected by the family members, and I'm sure it will touch your hearts and bring peace to the family and you all. Hey Govind, hey Gopal, hey Govind, hey Gopal, hey Dayal Lal. Hey Govind, hey Gopal, hey Govind, hey Gopal, hey Dayal Lal. प्राणनाथ अनाथ सखे, प्राणनाथ अनाथ सखे, प्राणनाथ अनाथ सखे, दीन परिवार। हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे दयाल लाल। हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे दयाल लाल। हे समरथ अगम्य पूरण, हे हे समरथ अगम्य पूरण, हे समरथ अगम्य पूरण, मोह माया धार। हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे दयाल लाल। हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे दयाल लाल। अंधकूप महाभया, अंधकूप महाभयान, अंधकूप महाभयान, नानक पार उतार। हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे दयाल लाल। हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे गोविंद हे गोपाल, हे दयाल लाल। हे दयाल लाल, हे दयाल लाल। श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम् श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम् नवकंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम् श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम। कंदर्प अगणित अमित छवि नवनील नीरद सुंदरम् कंदर्प अगणित अमित छवि नवनील नीरद सुंदरम् पटपीतमानहु तडित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम् श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम। भजु दीन बंधु दीनेश दानव दैत्य वंश निकंदनम् भजु दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्यवंश निकंदनम् रघुनंद आनंद कंद दशरथ रघुनंद आनंद चंद कोसल चंद दशरथ नंदनम् श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम् श्री राम श्री राम। इति वदति तुलसीदास इति वदति तुलसीदास शंकर शेषमुनि मनरंजनम् इति वदति तुलसीदास शंकर शेषमुनि मनरंजनम् मम हृदय कंज निवास पुरु कामादि खल दलगंजनम् श्रीरामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भयदारुणम् नवकंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम् श्रीराम 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 श्रीराम। जैसे सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरुवर की छाया, सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरुवर की छाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम। सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरुवर की छाया, हुआ मेरा मन था कोई मिल ना रहा था सहारा।
भटका हुआ मेरा मन था कोई मिल ना रहा था सहारा,
लहरों से लड़ती हुई नाव को जैसे लहरों से लड़ती हुई नाव को जैसे मिलना रहा हो किनारा, मिलना रहा हो किनारा। उस लड़खड़ाती हुई नाव को जैसे उस लड़खड़ाती हुई नाव को जो किसी ने किनारा दिखाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम। सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरुवर की छाया, शीतल बनी आग चंदन के जैसी राघव कृपा हो जो तेरी। शीतल बनी आग चंदन के जैसी राघव कृपा हो जो तेरी। उजियाली पूनम की हो जाए रातें, उजियाली पूनम की हो जाए रातें, जो थी अमावस अंधेरी, जो थी अमावस अंधेरी, युग युग से प्यासी मरुभूमि ने जैसे सावन का संदेश पाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है, मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम। सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया, जिस राह की मंजिल तेरा मिलन हो, उस पर कदम मैं बढ़ाऊं। जिस राह की मंजिल तेरा मिलन हो, उस पर कदम मैं बढ़ाऊं। फूलों में खारों में पतझड़ बहारों, फूलों में खारों में पतझड़ बहारों में मैं ना कभी डगमगाऊं, मैं ना कभी डगमगाऊं। पानी के प्यासे को तकदीर ने जैसे जी भर के अमृत पिलाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है, मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम। सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है, मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम, मेरे राम, मेरे राम, मेरे राम, मेरे राम, मेरे राम, मेरे राम। हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मन विजय करे, दूसरों की जैसे पहले खुद को जय करे।
हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मन विजय करे, दूसरों की जैसे पहले खुद को जय करे। हमको मन
की शक्ति देना,
भेद भाव अपने दिल से साफ कर सके, भेद
जय करे, हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मन विजय करे। दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद को जय करे, हमको मन की शक्ति देना। और अंतिम भजन मैं प्रस्तुत कर रहा हूं इस भाव के साथ। भजन के शब्द एक होप को जनरेट करते हैं और पॉजिटिव नोट पर हम चाहेंगे कि हम उनको याद करें, सोमेश जी को। उसके बाद गायत्री मंत्र का 3 बार जाप करके फिर मैं श्री गौतम जी को मंच पर आने के लिए रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, 2 शब्द कहेंगे। सो दिस इज अ ब्यूटीफुल भजन। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। राम नाम सोही जानिए, जो रमता सकल जहां। घट घट में जो रम रहा, उसको ही राम पहचान। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार रे, बेड़ा पार रे, बेड़ा पार। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। काहे को डरे रे, काहे को डरे, काहे को डरे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। नैया तेरी राम हवाले, नैया तेरी, नैया तेरी राम हवाले। लहर लहर हरि आप संभाले, हरि आप ही उठावे तेरा भार। उदासी मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। काबू में मझधार उसी के, उसी के मझधार उसी के हाथों में पतवार उसी के। तेरी हार भी नहीं है तेरी हार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। सहज किनारा, सहज किनारा मिल जाएगा रे, मिल जाएगा। सहज किनारा मिल जाएगा, परम सहारा मिल जाएगा। डोरी सौंप के तो देख एक बार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। काहे को डरे रे, काहे को डरे, काहे को डरे, काहे को डरे रे, काहे को डरे, काहे को डरे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे, तेरा साईं जी करेंगे, तेरा गुरु जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। उदासी मन काहे को करे, उदासी मन काहे को करे। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्यात्र द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ओम। अब मैं श्री गौतम भाला जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वे मंच पर आए एंड से अ फ्यू वर्ड्स, एंड देन श्री समीर हरिहरन जी एंड राजेश झिंगन जी ऑल्सो। Once again, on behalf of my team, I, Amrish Mishra, thank you very much for listening with such feelings and soul. Thank you.
Good evening. When I was asked to remember Somesh, it caught me unprepared. It's an onerous duty, and I know others who would do far greater justice to his person than me. I accepted as an opportunity to pay tribute to my friend and a person I genuinely admired, and to whom I would have much to say if I could, but as I ruminated, the kaleidoscope of memories, some stretching to 45 years back, his quintessential qualities took shape. Those of a friend, a gentleman, and a leader. Friend, as in the truest sense that can be. A gentleman of rare character, as solid as the Rock of Gibraltar. And a leader of that rarest of qualities whom people followed instinctively. He was the first of my friends, the ones that are forged by the miracle of nature and then stay the voyage of life. Never one for demonstrative affection, yet filled with the substance of it. Somesh lived friendship like nobody else that I've ever met. He was a friend who set the benchmark, and all who came in touch with him responded involuntarily to his sincerity, his innate charm, and the solidity of his character. Captivated, or so it would seem. I never heard self-praise pass his lips, ever, or a boast that is too common, all too common. It's a tribute to his character that I never heard anybody speak ill of him. And as God is my witness, I never heard him speak ill of anybody, ever. He was solid, with a solidness grounded in the strength of character. He had an integrity that was beyond reproach, the strength to persevere, born out of his convictions. Over the years, I've repeated myself saying that he was the man I would like to go into battle with, eyes closed, because in my bones, I knew that he would have my back no matter what. I have never said this of any other man. It's a gift of life if you can say it of anybody that you knew or know. It truly is. A few words bordering on the reticent, but when he spoke, it always carried weight. His leadership in and of life was in keeping, not of any words of self-praise or paeans sung in public, but beheld by the quiet respect that he commanded from people wherever he went. People whom he had reached out to and helped unexpectedly when they were in dire straits, and whose loyalty he commanded by his service to them. In multitudes that one never suspected. If ever a person was born to soldier, it was him. Not in uniform, he nevertheless was one in every dimension of that calling. The qualities were innate to him. Self-effacing, with the capacity to throw himself into things larger than the self, the ability to sacrifice on behalf of others, to abstain, to slog, and yet retain the poise of a perfect gentleman with steely resolve, and the one that I most cherish, a friend that you could trust your life with. He was charming, a great sense of humor, born not out of disparaging or at the expense of others. He possessed the more gentle and genuine gift, that of witty observation and great insights. Somesh lived life on his terms. He taught me grace as he epitomized it himself. Whatever headwinds buffeted his life, they always broke on the strength of his character. You say that of any man, and there's not much else that you can say in tribute to him. He left us a king whose absence we will all individually feel and struggle, no doubt, to fill the empty spaces of what he meant to each one of us. The words that would best serve to remember him by are, no matter how narrow the strait, how charged with punishment is the scroll, I am the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. Thank you, Somesh, for the gift that you have been to all of us. I would request Mr. Samir to say a few words now. Thank you.
Gautam, that was beautifully said. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Samir. Somesh was my classmate in MBA. That was in 85 to 87. Then he became my roommate. We stayed together in a flat in Pune. He became my friend thereafter. Much later in life, he was my partner along with my wife, Asha. We were to do some great things together. And through all of that, he was my brother and confidant. And that's how I'll remember him. Affectionately known as Bubble, as you all know. That name used to always get me going. He will be remembered by all because Somesh was unforgettable. Such was his impact on people, be it his friends from school. I know about it because he used to talk about his friends. His classmates from Pumba, some of us are here, and all those who couldn't be here, we are in a group. His colleagues from IOCL, that was his second heart, I think. He lived for that company. He gave his life for that company. His customers or his friends in the forces, especially the army, he wore them like a badge of honor. He always talked about everyone so fondly. Despite the lesser and darker side of people or situations, his strength was to be able to honor the inner vision of seeing only the good in everything and everyone. Gautam's already said that in his, I just had to rephrase it. That was the man. But I've also lived with Somesh, the character. Okay, so allow me this a little bit, because my friends in Pumba is Pune University MBA, will remember that fondly. Getting dressed each day was a ritual for him. This friend of mine, Arun Bandari out here, who was my roommate, he says, it took him as long as 5 ladies to get dressed in sequence for him to get dressed. I mean, it literally took him that much time. So he would pray, then meditate. He would iron his clothes, then relax. Then he would drink water and nimbu pani and then relax. Just breakfast, relax. And all of this, you couldn't rush him. He was born a Maharaja. Yes, sir? Next, he knew mostly everything about everyone he came in contact with. He made it a point to know. Just that. That was him. In the time of his interaction with people, he left a little piece of himself.
And I'm saying निकलो यहाँ से. He was the glue that kept our management batch together, finding time to speak to everyone of us from time to time. He loved the army and he loved sports in that order. He always tuned in and cheered both of them with much fervor. He would post in our group only on these two subjects. Correct me if I'm wrong. Only on these two subjects. Anything else, he would never post or give his comments or views. He just loved it. Like his father, he was an honest, upright, patriotic,
And I'm sorry, sir, bullheaded, fearless man with a tough exterior that covered a tender, trusting heart longing for affection and love. He wasn't without his faults, but who is, I ask you? Who is? Those who loved him knew him for both, but celebrated him for his good heart and fearless spirit. Some part of me is angry with him for his stubbornness. Actually, a large part of me. But all of me will always be incomplete without him. The last 6 weeks, Bubbles brought each one of us and the family to our knees, praying and living in hope. He always told me, Yaar, it is all destined. I wasn't ready, and none of us were ready for his destiny. On the 4th of July, 6:10 p.m., his gentle heart bid us goodbye. Bubble, you will be missed. So on behalf of his mom and dad, his wife Ritu and son Samay, his brother Double and wife Monique, and their sons Rahul and Aryan, my wife Asha and I, thank you for being with us today. Please remember my friend well, for he was one of a kind. He was my brother, who I will never forget. Thank you. May I call on double? Come on.
Thank you. Well, I don't think anything prepares you for an event like this. And I've been terrified for the last 4 to 5 days as to what am I going to stand and say. How do you sort of encapsulate somebody's 60 years of journey in 2 minutes or 3 minutes? And then on top of that, I have Gautam and Samir, these eloquent speakers who've had time to prepare for this while I was doing other things. So it's, and if somebody says to you that deep breathing helps to be more controlled, I think they're lying, because obviously it isn't helping right now. In the better years of our life, the last 20 odd years, I think Bubble and my work took me away, and we didn't get that much time to spend together. But I witnessed Bubble's life through his friends.
Excuse me.
I think he was an extraordinary guy. He was a great brother, because I had this infinite belief I think Coco and Samir have been very eloquent in summing up my brother's journey, the person that he was. I'm going to go home and I'm going to call up my sons. And I'm going to tell them about their uncle. And if they can be and have friends 1/10 of what he did, I think they would be very blessed. So thank you so much for being here today and being part of the journey. And I'm sure Bubble up there has already made a few more friends and has already started engaging with people, because that's what he was. I don't know if there are taxi drivers up there or whatever it is, but Bubble will find his rhythm. And we are very, very, very blessed. And to see the affection and the messages that we've been getting over the last few days. And I think when you go back home today, I'm sure you're going to feel a void as much as my mom and dad and I do. And on that one note, and I think Samir did stretch on Bubble's being headstrong. I do believe that in today's time and date, I think it's very necessary to talk to each other. Sharing is very important. Don't hold it back. Talk to your kids, your friends, talk to your parents. Don't hold it in there, because it manifests itself into terrible things. And I think that was one of the things that I wouldn't forgive him for, because he gave so much, asked nothing in return, and when you probed and when you wanted to reach out, he just had this very gentle smile and a shrug, and it went on, and it just moved on. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for coming and sharing. And on behalf of my mom and dad and everybody else, we would hope that you go downstairs and have a cup of tea. And I hope I get a chance to say thank you and to everybody who's come. So, good luck.
I guess that's it. I think anybody else going to say something? So you are all requested to please join downstairs for the tea and high tea. Once again, thank you very much to be with the family, and remember Somesh ji, his energy, his politeness, and his great life. Thank you very much.